Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Patrice Cullors, and I'm one of the co-creators of Black Lives Matter. It's interesting right now, right? Because we're watching the media, the U.S. media in particular, basically spend the 24-hour news cycle on Trump and normalizing what it looks like to have a white supremacist in office. We are okay with young black people being killed and murdered, and we'll go on with business as usual. And we're not okay. Obama's election was an exciting moment for many of us, but his administration was a big disappointment. It took him a long time to be honest and recognize racism in this country. When he finally did talk about it, we said, just talk is not enough. I think he thought, oh, this is just gonna go away. As he saw the growing movement, he said, yeah, you know, he sat with many of us. And he took meetings with us. But after, 2 years of meeting with him, many of us said, we don't want to go to the White House anymore. We'd like to know what your next steps are. What is your administration going to do about this? Donald Trump has made an enemy of many people. He's really, it's not just domestically, his response to China, and his relationship to Russia. He is isolating himself, and he's isolating America. He's setting up a really dangerous dynamic for us. I think sort of like the average Black American is really clear that this is a terrible, terrible moment for us. And we're not meeting with Donald Trump like Kanye West is. That's not of our interest. In fact, Black Americans are trying to figure out, what do we do? What are we going to do now?
Well, Donald Trump is what Americans love. Donald Trump is what Americans aspire to be. Rich, powerful, do what you want to do, say what you want to say, be how you want to be. That's kind of been like the American dream. So he looks like a boss to everybody, and Americans love to have a boss. So, that's his appeal to me. To call your own citizens super predators is pretty harsh, and and it's pretty big indictment. It's just like the term thug or hoodlum. It's just an easy brush to paint somebody with, and it's really not solving the problem. It's just making it worse.
So go one level deeper with me. I remember one time I saw you after you had done a concert, I think it was in Westchester, different kind of neighborhood, but I asked you what the racial breakdown was of your audience. Do you remember this? And you told me the only black face you could see in the whole audience was your makeup artist. I believe that's what you said, and she was in the front row, right? A lot of white kids love rap.
Yes.
Explain that. What does that say to you? What's the message of it? What's the bigger picture of it?
I don't want to be bashed because I don't want to sound like I'm on the wrong if there is a side, but I thought that was clearly a message that there was no such thing as racism. That's what I thought that was.
Okay,
But that was a perfect example. When I look out and I come up off the stage, when I'm coming out the bottom of the stage of my show, when I'm on tour, and I'm in my stance or whatever, and I open my eyes and I see everybody. I don't have this type of crowd or that type of crowd. My crowd has always been everybody, thank God.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't or
Today?
cannot? Yeah.
No,
You don't?
no, I don't. I don't. Hey, you and I, we're proof.
Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
Yeah. You know, I said, and it's probably get me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle, it's in the news, but sometimes I get so tired of talking about it, I want to just go, this is over, can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like it exists and we refuse to talk about it, but making it a bigger issue than it needs to be is the problem we have.
At 8:58 p.m., as demonstrators made their way east on Main Street, Johnson fired his automatic or semi-automatic rifle into a police car and at Dallas police officers who were walking among the protesters. His bullets struck and killed Senior Corporal Lauren Ahrens, Officer Michael Kroll, and Officer Patrick Zamarripa. 3 Dallas officers, Gretchen Rocha, Ivan Saldana, and Jorge Barrientos, and a civilian, Shatamia Taylor, were also injured. Johnson headed north on Lamar and shot the glass doors at one of El Centro's entrances, but he could not get through. 2 El Centro police officers, John Abbott and Corporal Brian Shaw, were behind the doors and were injured. About 50 students and teachers were inside wrapping up class. Johnson continued north and sneaked up on DART officer Brent Thompson, fatally shooting him from behind as the officer peered around a pillar. Johnson continued to fire after Thompson fell to the ground. Abbott then left the building to help Thompson.
He's down. More of them.
The suspect said he was upset about Black Lives Matter. He said he was upset about the recent police shootings. The suspect said he was upset at white people. The suspect stated he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers.
Sheriff Clark, this is horrific, what happened, obviously, but do you think it is fair to link this murder to the Black Lives Matter movement when we still don't know the suspect's motive?
I think it's very fair in light of the anti-cop rhetoric that is sweeping the United States of America, fueled by this group, some of the vulgar, vile, vicious rhetoric that's coming out, talking about killing cops, and that's just some of the nice stuff, some of the stuff I can't even say here on TV. But there is no doubt in my mind that the 2 New York officers, Ramos and Lou, who were gunned down by an individual who made Facebook postings about wanting to kill pigs, and he was going to go out and hunt officers down. There have been officers across the United States who've had their cruisers shot at and struck while they patrolled. St. Louis, the same thing. Yes, this is part of a pattern now, and you'd have to stick your head in the sand to think that this thing here wasn't fueled by this vile, vulgar, slimy movement.
Mark?
I disagree with your characterization of BLM, but I'd be curious to ask you, do you think that every cop who's been killed this year is connected somehow, the death is connected to BLM?
No, but there's an increase in assaults on police officers, the killings of police officers that may not be directly related to this movement, but you know what, there's no fear anymore about assaulting or attacking, fighting, disarming, or generally, like I said, assaulting law enforcement officers. And you know what, if the shoe fits, wear it. Just like the Dylan Roof, right, who went into a church and slaughtered 9 churchgoers and every white person in America by this Black Lies movement, L-I-E-S, was indicted because of that. And other people came out and talked about slavery, discrimination, alive and well in the United States. Well, that's why I said if the shoe fits here, wear it.
Right.
All right, folks, you're going to hear this. You're going to hear it once. You're going to hear this. You're going to hear it once. All right, folks, you're going to hear it once. All lives matter. All lives